Primetime Seniors is brought to you by Home Helpers, committed to keeping you safe and independent at home.
Welcome to Primetime Seniors, living for today, making choices for tomorrow. I'm Allie McNair, and we're coming to you from the offices of the Hilton Head Symphony Orchestra. We're going to be speaking with its executive director, Mary Briggs, in just a moment. But first, let me give you a preview of what's coming up on this edition of Primetime Seniors. Debbie Morse with Home Helpers will help us keep that New Year's resolution to get organized with a little help from Lila Nelson of A Better Space. Abby Peter is a board-certified acupuncturist with Spine and Joint Care Associates, will help us better understand this wellness solution. And we'll be visiting Share Center for Active Adults and learn more about what great activities are offered. Mary Briggs, the executive director of the Hilton Head Symphony Orchestra, joins me now. Great to have you here, Mary.
Thank you.
Or to invite us to your offices, I should say. I had the fortunate luck of going to your youth concerto competition last month in February. What a great event. Tell us a little bit more about that.
It was so exciting. It's our fourth year of doing that, and each year it gets bigger and better as applicants come from farther and farther away. This year we had 9 finalists who all could have won. They were just fabulous. And we're looking forward to having our winner, Annie Bender, perform with the orchestra next year.
Well, she was absolutely phenomenal, as were all the contestants. But what a great way to spend the afternoon and really realize how much talent is out there.
It was. I mean, you wouldn't realize that there are that many young people not yet out of high school that have that type of just incredible talent.
Well, you have some great events coming up in the next several months. Give us a preview if you would.
We do. Actually, this is our inaugural year for the Young Concert International Piano Competition. We have 20 young pianists aged 13 through 17 from countries all over the world, China, Canada, United States. Just very, very exciting. They'll all be coming March 7th, and the competition will conclude on the 12th with a concert with the symphony orchestra. 6 of the finalists will each play a concerto with the orchestra. During the week, we will have rounds where people can come in all during the day and see different pianists compete. And this year, for the first time, we have a number of school children that will be able to come.
Oh, I think that's wonderful.
That's just terrific.
Absolutely, to give them the exposure of seeing young people or, you know, their contemporaries playing is fantastic.
Right.
How did you get the word out all over to bring these people from all over the world to Hilton Head Island for this competition?
Well, we will actually start in April. We start right after one competition concludes by designing the program for the next year and the application. We send those out to schools all over the world and to music teachers all over the world, and we get into international piano magazines, and students all over the world will look for those. So it spreads very, very rapidly. Next year we'll return back to the 18 to 30-year-olds, and then we'll alternate year after year.
That's super. It sounds absolutely wonderful. What's coming up as far as the month of April goes?
In April, we have our annual Symphony Under the Stars, which is a very popular event. It's a Pops event. We set up a large tent in Honeyhorn, and for 2 nights we do Pops music. This year we have a Stompin' at the Savoy. So it should be great fun. People bring their food, their picnics, they decorate their tables. It's just a great, enjoyable evening.
It sounds fantastic. You also have a special event to honor your volunteers or recognize them with the Hilton Head Symphony Orchestra. Can you talk a little bit about that, too?
We do. That's called Spring Fling. We have about 350 volunteers that are a part of the league, and each year we honor them in the spring with a reception. And that's a lot of fun. But it's a great organization. They volunteer, they do fundraising for us, so it's an asset to the orchestra.
Mary Briggs, Hilton Head Symphony Orchestra has some great events coming up, but I know there is some news in particular that is going to be very exciting for everybody.
Yes, we are thrilled. You know, we have gone through an international search for a new music director. We had well over 200 applicants that applied that were all just phenomenal. We even went to New Orleans to see 6 of the America's shiniest and best young conductors.
That had to be exciting.
It was very exciting. But the real excitement is that out of that whole batch of very talented conductors and music directors, we have selected as our principal guest conductor for next season, John Morris Russell, who has an exciting background and many things that make him just a perfect fit for us.
Well, tell us a little bit about him, if you would.
John actually worked in the area back in the mid-90s when he was associate conductor with the Savannah Symphony. He met and married his wife here. He went on from that to be associate conductor of Cincinnati Symphony Orchestra. He replaced Keith Lockhart for that position, and then spent 11 years as music director of the Windsor Symphony Orchestra in Ontario. He just recently was announced as the conductor designee of Cincinnati Pops, which will give him the opportunity to conduct really big, exciting concerts with large guest artists. But he was very interested in still having kind of a home base with a symphony orchestra that still allows him to do Brahms. And one thing that's very exciting for us is he has done incredible things in the area of education and outreach. And that's so important and such a big part of our mission. So we think he's going to be wonderful for Hilton Head.
Mary Briggs, thanks so much for letting us visit you and your offices and giving us this great information.
My pleasure.
Now, how are you doing with your New Year's resolutions? How about getting organized? Right now, Debbie Morris of Home Helpers checks in with Lila Nelson of A Better Space, and they have some great tips on getting organized.
I'm here with Lila Nelson, owner of A Better Space, and we're here at her closet. And we're here because when I saw your closet, I do that, go looking at people's closets. It's not a huge closet, but it works big.
That was the idea. What I try to do, both in my own and in my clients' spaces, is make it work the best possible way with the square footage that you have.
And Lila has generously allowed us to come into her closet and get some of her ideas. The first thing we're going to do is look at Lila's closet, which she describes as a seasonal closet.
One of the things I ask my customers, and I practice myself, is the ability to have the things in your closet for the season you're working in. What you'll see is a winter closet, because so far we haven't transitioned into our spring things. When I go into my closet in the morning, the first thing I want to do is I want to make it easy. So I set up the closet in a way that allows me to grab the things that I need. I have a couple of tricks I like to share. One of which is at the beginning of a season, when you actually are changing from one set of clothing to another, because we really have two seasons in the Low Country, hang your hangers backwards on the rod. We're at the end of a season now. This is backwards. That's because I never wore it. If I wore it, I would give myself permission to hang it back up. And at the end of the season now, I'm going to look at that particular blouse and go, why didn't I wear it? Could it be I don't fit it? Could it be I don't have anything to wear with it? And it will help me problem solve the extra stuff in my closet. The other thing that I do is I use dividers. Right here, I have a series of black slacks next to navy. And in the morning, I can tell you, I cannot always tell the difference. So I use these pole dividers, if you will. They're simple. They can be purchased a number of different places, and I carry some of them, and I put it so that there's a divide between the black pants and the navy pants. Again, I don't have to think. There it is, helpful for me when I'm getting dressed for whatever the occasion is. The other thing that I do sometimes is I will try to put whole outfits together. I have clients who don't like to separate their clothes like I do. I love these skinny hangers. This particular hanger has a hook on it. And so I can hang things like this. Here's my jacket. Here's the blouse. And back here, I can fold over the pants. One set of hangers, still skinny, still giving me the maximum amount of space that I can now hang here, and I have my outfit ready. Sometimes I've had clients who want to put jewelry or an accessory like a scarf, all of it together.
That's wonderful. Those are great tips. I'm wondering, can we move over to your husband's closet? Because I think it's a little different.
Absolutely. Men do things differently in their closets. In this case, we're hanging the pants differently. We're putting the shirts differently. These are one style of shirt. There's a still more casual set of things that he puts here, and you can see he stacks his sweaters. I also suggested that he build one of these wonderful little drawers here for all of his accessory things like men do. Well, he still likes the first shelf instead of for shoes, devoted to the stuff that men do when they take their change their clothes and put their things out on a dresser. There have been times I've had so many pennies and coins here, I've had to clean them out just because they're spilling over. But it's all about style. What is your style and how's it going to work?
Lila, thank you so much. And there's never enough time, and there's always so much more we can learn about organizing our lives and making our life easier. There's more to come. Stay with us on Prime Time Seniors.
Welcome back to Primetime Seniors. Over the past several months, we've taken a look at the integrated healthcare solutions offered at Main Street Health Center with Dr. Joseph Haven, who's given us an in-depth look at chiropractic care. The big news is they have changed their name here. It is now Spine and Joint Care Associates. Why the name change?
Well, we've really changed our approach and our focus. We are very unique in that we offer a fully integrated approach to spine and joint conditions. And more specifically, we just have multidisciplines under one roof. We have medical, chiropractic, acupuncture, massage, and all of those disciplines have been shown to be very effective in treating musculoskeletal conditions. And now patients can come to one location and have access to all of them.
I mean, that is really convenient, I would think, for the people that you're treating. Now, you mentioned acupuncture. This go-around, we're going to talk to your licensed acupuncturist, Abby Peters. Abby, acupuncture's been around for more than 5,000 years, but for those of us living in the Western world, sometimes we have some questions. Can you talk about the credentials or what kind of training you had to go through?
In the United States, acupuncturists are required to graduate from a 4-year Oriental medicine institution. There's about 30 of them in the United States. In the schooling, we take biomedicine, herbology, acupuncture, of course, and we also treat over 400 patients and spend 900 hours in the clinic. We then take national board exams, there's 4 of them, and apply for a local state license through the medical board.
That's really impressive. Can you talk about the kinds of conditions that acupuncture treats?
Acupuncture can treat a wide array of symptoms and conditions: headaches, IBS, high blood pressure, neuromuscular conditions. The World Health Organization has a list on its website of more than 40 conditions shown to be effective when using acupuncture in trials.
Well, that would be a great place to go to check that out and see the full list. How does it work, though?
In Chinese medicine, it is believed to stimulate one's qi or energy, thus creating an internal environment which is conducive to healing. And in Western thinking, it reduces inflammation, increases circulation, and many other things.
And can I ask you, how many treatments would I have to go through in order to see any improvement or benefit?
Studies show about 12 to 18 visits is optimal. It depends on a few things, such as the severity of the condition, whether it's acute or chronic, and any underlying factors.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I want to know, for people that haven't gone through it, I have actually, so I can say it doesn't hurt, but do the needles hurt people?
They don't hurt, but a feeling is required for therapeutic effects. Usually a tingling or heaviness, a sensation like that is generally felt.
Well, Abby Peters, I want to thank you so much. Some great information as a licensed acupuncturist that you've given us.
Thank you.
And we are going to take a break, but before we do, Debbie Morris has some great tips on what you can do with those clothes that you've cleaned out of your closet.
Lila Nelson has joined me from a better space to help me develop a better voice while I get rid of my hoarseness, to give you some tips on what to do with those clothes that you've now emptied out of your closet. We don't just want you to throw them away, so here are some ideas. First, consider donating. Don't just throw out old and used clothing. Consider some other options. There are several charities in our local area that accept donations of clothing. Some will give the clothing directly to those in need, and others resell the clothing and then donate the proceeds to area nonprofit organizations.
Reuse. Reuse clothing. Consider cutting things up and using them as rags, or repurpose them in some way. There are many choices you can make with some of the older things that no longer need to be in that closet.
Third tip would be recycle. Give clothing a new life. Use the fabric to create clothes for dolls, fashion accessories, or even in a craft project.
Or perhaps consider selling your clothing. We have many wonderful consignment shops in our area who are delighted to get donations. You'll get a little money back, and so will they as they sell your products.
Thanks, Lila, for all your help today. And think green when you're making decisions about the rejects from your closet. Stay with us. There's more to come on Primetime Seniors.
Welcome back to Primetime Seniors. Can you tell we have some folks having a really good time here? I'm at the Share Center for Active Adults. They're located on the south end of the island, and they provide all kinds of activities, everything from trips, socials, seminars, classes. Joining me now is its Activities Director, Laura Mason. Great to see you, Laura.
Thank you, Allie.
Tell us what SHARE stands for.
SHARE stands for Seniors, Hospitality, Activity, Recreation, and Education.
Now, how did SHARE get started?
In 1989, a bunch of seniors got together and decided that we needed a senior center on Hilton Head Island, and so they put this all together. In 1991, the board went to the Island Rec Association and asked them to take over the Share Center.
Now, what about activities? Obviously, we see some fun being had now, but what's the range of activities that you have here?
We have a lot of activities. We have daily activities, which include cribbage, hand and foot, mahjong, poker. We have exercise classes that are stretch and weight, tai chi, qigong. We have seminars, educational classes. We have computer seminars, which is provided by the Hilton Head Island Computer Club, which is located within our center also. So we have more than enough activities.
And I didn't mention, and I should, this is for anyone age 50 and above, right?
Yes, 50 and better, 50 and older, yes.
Now, if a viewer here says, gee, this sounds like a great idea for me, what should they do?
There's a few options. They can call us at 843-785-6444, or they can just stop in. We're located on the south end of the island at 6 Office Way, suite number 915. And lastly, they can look on our website, the Island Rec Association, at www.islandreccenter.org.
Great. And then is there a little thing they can click on that says Share?
Yep. Right at the top it says Share Center. Click on that, and we can give you some information, and you can look up all the activities.
Well, Laura Mason, thank you so much for your time. This is really a great facility.
Thank you so much.
And we want to thank everyone else who took part in our episode of Primetime Seniors in March. Abby Peters with Spine and Joint Care Associates. Mary Briggs with the Hilton Head Symphony Orchestra, Lila Nelson with the Better Space, and as always, Debbie Morris with Home Helpers. Until the next time, live Primetime Seniors.